Hi everyone, today's a super exciting day because I'm finally planting out my Ranunculus. It feels late, but it's not actually late because our last average frost date is April the 21st. That's the average last frost date. I've looked at the weather and it really doesn't look like we're going to get any more hard frosts. So I'm risking it and planting them out even though it's not quite the 21st yet. I am also popping into the ground today my Ammi, my Daucus and some of my Honesty, my Lunaria. So those are also going to be dotted around the flower beds and I thought I'd bring you along with me. If you're new to my channel, my name's Annette and this is Cottoverdi, and my husband Richard and I garden here in South Buckinghamshire in the UK, which is a zone 8B/9A. We get down to about -5. Welcome to my channel if you're a new subscriber. It's lovely to have you along. Oh, and if you're new to the channel and haven't subscribed, then please do. It really does make a world of difference to me and it really helps. Anyway, to get on with what we're doing today, what I'm going to do is, if I've sown these seeds, I'm going to put the date that I sowed them up on the screen and also the date they germinated. Now, all of these things that I'm putting out today have been hardened off. The Ranunculus have been in my cold frames, and the Ammi, the Daucus and the Lunaria, the Honesty, have all been in my little mini greenhouses, but they haven't been closed. They've been open the whole time. So they've been subjected to cold weather anyway, but I'm super excited to get them in the ground so that I can have some flowers. So the first thing I'm planting is an Orlaya. I absolutely love Orlaya. Of all the Umbellifers, I just think it's the prettiest. And I'm not putting any plant food at the base of these Umbellifers. They don't need it. Really nice root system. And then the Ranunculus that I've chosen to plant here, all these Ranunculus I'm planting today, by the way, are the butterfly Ranunculus. And the butterfly Ranunculus have long, straight stem. They were specifically designed for the cut flower market and they have a gorgeous sort of metallic-y, waxy sheen to the petals. They're really beautiful. So the one that I'm planting here is called Hera and it's a gorgeous pale pink, and this is sort of a pinky white area that I've got down here near the rose souvenir, and I think they're going to look really nice. This tree is an apple tree. It's a Cox's Orange Pippin, and I think it's going to be beautiful this year. We had loads of apples last year. So I've planted an Orlaya over there. I've planted the Hera Ranunculus here, and over in this spot I'm putting 3 Daucus carota. So that's a wild carrot, and they have gorgeous white Umbellifers with a hint of pink at the centre, usually. Sometimes they're just all white. And I'm planting 3 here. I don't think they're going to interfere with the tree very much. They're not particularly deeply rooted and they're just annuals, so I don't mind planting them a little bit close. Over here I'm planting a Lunaria. It's next to a rose called Souvenir, which is a lovely soft pink. Actually, sometimes it's got deeper colours, but generally speaking it's quite a soft pink. And the Lunaria I'm planting is Alba, so it's going to have pretty white flowers. And then I'm planting an Ammi called Casablanca. Casablanca is supposed to be one of the earliest flowering, so very early to bloom with really sort of umbrella shaped blooms, which I think are quite pretty. So they're not as flat as some of the others. And its growth habit is very uniform and it really doesn't have very many side shoots. So it's especially good for the cut flower market. This spot here is where I planted 3 snowstorm penstemon the other day. And I think that everything is just going to look really pretty and white and just cute and soft and gentle. Most Ammi are going to flower between June and August. So I'm planting some of these now, and then I've held some back so that if they bloom too early for the wedding celebration we're having, I'm going to plant some in a few weeks' time, and hopefully that will delay the blooming on those. So I'm really hoping I am going to have some of these for the wedding celebration. I think they're going to look really soft and floaty and very pretty. This peony here is Kansas, but when I put a photo up on the screen of what my peony, the bud, looked like last year, I was told by somebody in the comments that it wasn't Kansas and that Kansas is a completely different colour. So this might not be Kansas. It could have been missold to me or mislabelled, but right behind it is where I'm planting the Casablanca, and the Casablanca should definitely get tall enough, and hopefully will be flowering either at the same time or just after the peony. I mean, I can see a bud on here already. So I'm just popping 3 in this vicinity. So here's the Lunaria. These are the Penstemon and Snowstorm, and these here are the Casablanca. Round this side, underneath the red bud, which I have a feeling is pretty dead and we're going to have to replace, I'm planting, it's probably pointless because I'm going to have to dig these up, but I'm going to put them in anyway because this is where I want them. I'm planting a Daucus, a wild carrot, and this one's called Purple Kisses, and I'm very excited about this because it's supposed to get quite tall, so between 1.5 and 1.8 meters tall, and it has various shades of pink, from chocolate through burgundy to a dusky pink, and I think they're going to be absolutely beautiful. The other thing that I've got planted at the base of here is a gypsophila called Rosenschlier, and it just creates these mounds of light, airy, cloud-like white flowers. It's absolutely gorgeous. Highly recommend it. So over in this spot here, I am planting a Lunaria called Chedlow. Look at the foliage on that. I think that's incredibly pretty. So I'm going to be popping that in here. And I'm also going to be putting in 3 Ammis called Graceland. So in this spot here, behind the Brachyglottis or Senecio, it's called Brachyglottis Sunshine. Here I've got a Kinsley's Ghost honeysuckle, which is finally growing up the support, but there's still a lot of support showing. So we've got the Lunaria Chedlow there, which is going to grow up quite tall and kind of disguise the support. And then I've got a swathe of 3 Ammi Graceland that is just going to sort of pop beautiful white Umbellifers up behind the silvery foliage of the Brachyglottis. You can see how windy it is. Look at my hair. This is an Eleagnis quicksilver behind me. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love this plant, and the scent, the fragrance from the blooms when they come in the spring is unmatched. It's just so good. And I had no idea when I bought it that it was going to smell so good, but it really does. But we've got one dead branch in the middle, and it's the tallest one, which is really disappointing. I don't know why it's dead, because the top half is dead, but at the bottom I could see branches coming off it. So I'm not sure, and I did look online to find out why my Eleagnis quicksilver was dying, and apparently they do this sometimes. They randomly just decide to kill a branch off. So it's not uncommon, it's not unheard of. I found other people with a similar problem. So the rest of the plant is super healthy and it's still suckering everywhere and running, so it's absolutely fine. But I'm going to get Richard to just saw it because it's quite a thick trunk, so I'm going to get his help. So it really is the tallest branch. You can see that it hasn't leafed out at all, whereas the base of the plant, where Richard's digging around, has leafed out. But I can see that this branch, this is the dead one, has actually got living foliage on it down here. So I think we're just going to cut it down to where we can see there are branches that are still alive and take all the dead stuff off. So I'm going to get him to chop it here, I think. So I don't know why it's done that. It's absolutely huge and so beautiful, you know, it stretches all the way over here, all the way over there. So it really is a gorgeous shrub, but unfortunately I've lost the height that we had. Hopefully one of the others will decide to climb upwards. So this area of the border, we're getting onto the much warmer colours, all my apricots. Look at Cosmo, he's so cute. So it's all the apricots and the peaches down here, much warmer. And so underneath the Elaeagnus there, well, it's not quite underneath, but sort of near the Elaeagnus, over in this spot over here, I've got 5 more Ranunculus. Now this Ranunculus is called Musa, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of corally pinky bronze, and the outer petals will fade more to bronze, and then the centre will be a deeper colour. This geum here is called Apricot Pearl. I think it's going to look spectacular with the Ranunculus. Here behind the Penstemon Heavenly Blue, and I've also got some Coco Loco roses. I've dotted some Daucus Dara, which is a lovely purpley pinky colour. Sometimes they have little white specks on them, but I think that's going to be a gorgeous wild carrot. And it is starting to rain, which is slightly annoying. I mean, I don't mind the rain, but my camera equipment minds the rain. I've got some more gorgeous geums over here, and I'm going to put some more of the Musa, which is the corally pinky bronze colour, and I think it's going to look super pretty with the geums. So I have been soldering on despite the fact that I have actually hurt my right wrist. I think it's from carrying all the dahlia pots, and so I'm now roping Richard in. And now I know you all love to see Richard working hard, so I'm going to get him to plant the rest of them for me, and I'll let you know what I'm planting and where I'm planting them. Just in the centre here, I'm popping 2 more Lunaria alba, and I think they're going to be just a really nice bright spark that we can see from this direction. And it's kind of a bare patch behind there, so I think it'll be lovely. We can also obviously see them from here. And then at the front here, I've got 3 more Musa here, and then 3 more I've just popped in there. Whilst Richard's planting those, I just want to show you that some of my anemones that I planted last autumn are blooming. Look how gorgeous these are. They're so pretty. Also, look at the Picea, absolutely covered in red tips. This is a Picea Riedel. I say Riedel, but I'm not sure how you say it. But it's so bright, like seriously red, crimson. At the base of the obelisk here, I'm popping in the only 2 Theva that germinated. So I had really bad germination. They just didn't root in, or they rotted. But I've got 2, and Theva, these have like dark buds, and then when they open to a silvery lilac mauve, and then they've got a lovely violet centre to them. So they are really pretty, but unfortunately I've only got 2 plants. We're now over in the grass border, and here next to this gorgeous peony, I'll put picture or video up on the screen of what it looked like, but it's so pretty. And right in front of it I'm planting the only 2 Eris that germinated for me. So Eris is a gorgeous really soft salmony coral, and it does grow quite tall, apparently up to 75 centimetres, but let's wait and see if that happens. But I think it's just going to go really nicely with this peony. And then over here in this spot, just here near the Robin Hood rose, which is a gorgeous red colour, so right in front of it I'm planting some more of the Hera, which is the really rosy pink, very soft rosy pink. Over in this spot behind the Kojonomai, which has already blossomed beautifully, I'm popping in just ordinary Ammi majus, and I think it's going to look gorgeous. This is a rose called Tranquility, just here, and so that's a lovely white rose, creamy white rose, and I think Ammi's going to look beautiful with it. This is a tulip called Ballerina, and I just love it. It's orange with stripes of crimson. And then over here, in amongst the Stipa tenuissima, which I cut back a few weeks ago, and it's grown back beautifully, I'm planting an Ammi called Queen of Africa. Queen of Africa grows to 1.4 metres tall, and it's got less yellowing of the leaves apparently, and the side shoot flowers don't overpower the main flower, so you'll get one main flower and then a few side shoot flowers. Again, it's another really good one for cutting. Over here, in amongst the Lychnis or rose campion, that's a white rose campion in the grass border, I've popped in 3 Orlaya, and I think they're going to look so pretty. I love Orlaya so much. I know I've already said that, but it's gorgeous. Gosh, it really is threatening to rain. We're just being spat on by the weather. I don't want to complain because we really need to water the garden, but this is kind of drizzly and miserable, and look how dark it is. There are black clouds all around, but with Richard's help I've managed to get them all in. I don't know what's wrong with my wrist. Hopefully I can get it sorted with some physio. But look at the cherry. This is Shirafugen, or Shirafugen. It's absolutely gorgeous, and also I do want to show you what I'm doing, because I'm going to dry some of these cherry blossom for what's it called, wedding confetti. So I'm going to show you how I do that as well. It's really simple, but they look so pretty. Anyway, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. There are lots of different varieties of Daucus and Ammi, and so many Umbellifers that we can grow, and the pollinators really do love them, the butterflies especially, but you'll find all sorts of insects on Umbellifers, and I love them. I think they're wafty and airy, and they just add something special, and I think if any of them are flowering in July, they're going to look really nice. I am going to put some of them in the raised beds that we built, so I will be planting some there. I'm going to stagger planting in the hope that by keeping them in the small plots, it kind of delays them a little bit, and then hopefully something will be flowering in July. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it fun and interesting. Thank you so much for watching. It really does mean so much to me when people comment and like my videos, so do hit the like button if you've enjoyed it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.